Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be doing a powerful interview with the phenomenal Larry Mazza and the great phenomenal actor Craig Difrancia. So stay tuned. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
All right.
How's it going? There you are, Craig.
How are you? What's up, guys? What's up, Larry? How are you?
Everything's great. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Craig. How y'all doing?
Meet you, Arthur.
Very
How are
good.
you?
How you doing, Arthur?
I'm doing great and it's getting better each and every single day. How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
Better. Go ahead, Greg.
Can y'all see me good?
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm trying to see. Could we get all three of us on together? I think, yeah, share.
Actually, I'm looking at when you were just on, Larry, we all are on live right now.
I think now I got all three of us. Okay, I'm not on yet, but
you was just on.
Right. Hold on. I can see you too. Okay, 1 second. There you go. I got all three of us now.
All righty.
You got all three, Craig?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All righty. Well,
It's
y'all.
good to be back, Arthur.
I appreciate you, Larry. And Craig, I was looking at your impressive resume, and I see you've been an actor for a long, long time.
Yeah, now about 19 years on and off. And first off, I want to say thank you very much to both of you for having me on the show. It's an absolute pleasure. And Larry's told me some great things about you, and I'm excited and loving to get into anything you'd like to know.
All righty.
Good man.
All righty. I really appreciate both of y'all. And I know y'all going to convey a lot of value to my audience. And Larry, the audience was very mesmerized by your story. So I had you coming back on the program and convey value one more time to my platform.
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it and glad to be back. But I tell you what, Craig's got the story today for sure. When he starts talking about the Green Book and his experiences there, I'm not going to have to talk too much, I promise you.
All righty. Are y'all ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. All righty. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Arthur Robinson Jr. I'm the creator and the host of the Powerful Interviews podcast. And today I have two special, powerful men on my platform today. Today I have two wonderful people on the show, and they're great friends of mine, Larry Mazza and Craig Difrancia. For those that don't know Craig and Larry, let me explain to each and every one of you about these two powerful leaders. Craig Difrancia, he is a powerful actor. He was in the movie The Irishman. He was in Power with 50 Cent. And he was in the movie called The Blood Brothers.
Brothers by Blood, yes.
Absolutely. And then I was also looking at your impressive resume when you was actually in the phenomenal hit classic, The Green Book.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a great time.
And for those that don't know Larry was part of the Colombo crime family, and he wrote a powerful book called The Life, and that is an awesome, impressive resume. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome two powerful leaders, the one, the only, the powerful Craig Difrancia and Larry Mazza to the show.
Wow. That's some introduction, huh?
Yeah. Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? I mean, that's probably a little overdone, but thank you. Very nice. Very kind words as always.
Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate that very much. It's wonderful to be on. Really is. It's a true honor.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Craig and Larry, for taking time out of your busy schedules to educate the audience worldwide about your phenomenal book, Larry, The Life. And I want to talk about your phenomenal story, Craig, about your acting career. From your humble beginnings to where you are today, I gladly appreciate it.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Yeah, I guess, we started out back in Westchester County, New York, born and raised in New Rochelle, New York. Went to grammar school, high school, was fortunate enough to be allowed into private school, was kicked out in 7th grade. We won't go into that. Then I went to another one. Then I went to Iona Prep High School, New Rochelle. And from there, always wanted to be an actor. Never really took the initial oomph to really pursue it. I was into sports. I was a high school football player. I got a partial scholarship. I was captain of the team. I got a partial scholarship to Marist College. Right before actually in my last game senior year, I blew out my shoulder. I put my head down, and that was the end of my career. So I did a couple of things. Then I really started to pursue my acting career because I always had a passion for it, and I never felt as exhilarating as I did on the field as I did when I was up on stage. So that gave me the adrenaline rush, the high, the rigmarole, and the challenge of doing it. And that's why I started. I was really lucky to get enrolled in the William Esper studio. I studied with the late great Bill Esper, who was amazing. Best experience of my life, and went from there. And I honor him in every role I do.
Wow. Now, Larry, when he was on my program the last time, he told me about your impressive resume. And I seen one of the clips from Power. And William Sandler was actually a beast.
Oh, pure
in
beast.
that scene where unfortunately he basically took you out for, scamming him out of his money.
That's right.
How did you get that role? And how did you actually, become to being with playing that role in the whole classic Power?
Wow. Well, I auditioned for Christine Cromer for I think a 2-line co-star. And I didn't get that role, but I was on hold. Then they called me a week later for another role. And I went back in and did my thing. And I was fortunate enough to be booked on a 1-episode guest star. What happened after that, I shot my scene when Tommy, amazing actor Joe Sikora, when I did my first scene with him. The producer, one of the assistant directors, comes up to me and goes, "Craig, the director would like to talk to you." I'm like, "Uh-oh, what I do?" So the AD comes up to me and said, "Craig, we like what you're doing, and we'd like to offer you another scene or two if you could stick around." All right, I'll stick around. So I was really really excited, and then I did 2 more scenes and worked with them a week. And then it was a great experience. That whole crew, cast, everybody was so loving, so welcoming, and so strong in their performances that it was really a benefit and a pleasure to be part of that. Then I believe then we wrapped that season, and then I was on 1 episode in season 2, and then I got the call back from them because everybody on the show is getting arrested, and who better to be in jail than me? So I was arrested, everybody. So,
well, I love when they drilled his knee. That was
I felt the pain for Craig.
Me too.
Oh man,
special.
Let me tell you something. That was the last episode. I think that was the 8th episode I did. And man, I mean, I was bruised. I was bruised one time I missed the mat when Tommy hits me with the gun. I missed the mat, cracked my knee, bruises all over my forearms. I mean, we get into it. I go full boat into every character I play. And that one was some serious work, and working with Bill Sadler, Bill Sage, and the great Joe Sikora was an amazing experience. These guys are just giving actors, and that's the best way. Once you ping pong the scenes together, you keep giving and you keep getting, and it just makes great chemistry. But about a week before that, let me just tell you this story real quick. A week before that, I'm out to dinner with a bunch of my buddies, and I get a phone call from Bart Weinrich, the executive producer of Power. Never get that call. So I stepped outside, and "Hey Bart, hey Craig, it's Bart Weinrich, Power. How you doing? What's going on?" And he's like, "Well, unfortunately, I have to tell you that this is your last scene."
Oh,
And I was
Wow.
like, oh, so you're the hatchet man, aren't you? So yeah, and then we went into rehearsals, and we worked out a couple of moments there, and you saw it. I mean, it was a very powerful scene, and I get whacked a lot, unfortunately, but this was one of my, it was a good death, it was a good death.
not in the Irishman.
No, surprisingly enough,
We were on the other side.
Yes, we finally did the whacking.
Yeah.
Now, is Power coming back to the TV screen?
They have a few, yeah, they actually have 2 spinoffs. They have Power Book 2, and I believe they're doing the Tommy story as well. That's unconfirmed, so I'm not 100%, but I believe, yeah, they're doing the lineage of Michael Rainey's character. And that aired, I think that was Ghost Book 2, I believe is the name of that. And that was phenomenal. I mean, the writers on the show, everybody, Courtney Kemp, everybody, it's phenomenal. And now, I mean, they're doing spinoffs like crazy, and they're the second most rated network show behind Game of Thrones when Power was on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had a great audience, and it's great. And
we watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing with Kelly. Yep. We watched
stuff,
it all.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I told Larry the last time he was on my program, he's actually thinking about taking his book, The Life, and turning it into, a movie on the Netflix platform. And that goes out to over, 150 countries worldwide. But I was reading his book, and it was very, very impressive. And I actually, told Larry, maybe you should need to take that book and turn it into a Netflix series, like what everybody else is doing on the platform.
Well,
Go ahead, Larry. If
No,
that
I was
comes
gonna
to
tell you
being, I would love for Larry, and I would love for you, Craig, to be actually
Craig's
be
gonna
in that
be in
movie.
it. Craig's gonna be in it.
Okay.
We have a producer named Joe Paletto
Mm,
who is very, very close to launching his own platform like Netflix.
mm,
And within a month or so, you'll be seeing a sizzle piece come out, promoting it.
mhm.
And so we have 2 bites at the apple. We're hoping, well, I don't even think he's hoping this anymore, that maybe Netflix or somebody will come along and buy it and do, put it on themselves, to take the reins. But if not, we'll do it ourselves. And, he's got the finances. We have Nick Pileggi and Terry Winter. Terry Winter Craig may get involved in ours too. The Life.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because Nick, as great as Nick is, he's getting up in age, and we may need a little extra people in that writing room. So I'll be there for sure.
mhm.
And like you said, Craig, I want to be in it, but Craig is seasoned. He's a great actor, and he deserves to be in it. And we have like 3 or 4 roles that I am going to highly recommend that I know he can play, and they'd be all premium characters that'll be from start to finish. I'll settle for a background guy or something like that because I'm the writer. They can't take that away from me. So I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. I see Forrest Whitaker, his latest project, Harlem, is actually on Netflix now.
Yeah,
And I was
we saw
actually
that.
looking at your book, The Life, and see how that can actually turn to, a Netflix series, because it seems like that's the genre that people are doing on the Netflix platform, where they actually taking their books and turn them into, series on the Netflix platform.
Yeah, I expect it's going to happen sooner than later now. The pandemic didn't help. That put everything back months and months and months.
Mhm.
But Joe's been working still. The other thing is I'm going to be hosting a gambling show, hopefully by football season. Because as you read in the book, I was somewhat of an expert in that in the old days. And he wants to put me in front of a camera talking about the sports business, gambling, casinos, horse race, and everything. So it could be, it should be a good show. We're going to try to give out some winners too, Greg.
All right.
We'll try to give some winners for Sunday. Yeah. But that's always the tough part. But and Frankie Steele, who Craig you met,
Yes,
is probably going to have the first show out because he's doing one. He's very much into the paranormal, and one of the platforms that Joe's going to have is Conspiracy TV. So that opens things up for like Jimmy Hoffa and other things like that. And but Frankie has one. It's unscripted, so it's going to be easier to do. And but I'll send you the sizzle piece to that too. But we got a lot happening this summer.
Wow. Now, Larry, I seen you on a powerful show, and he actually came on my platform, and I know he was actually involved with selling a lot of weight, which was Bobby Lucy. How was that
Bobby
show?
Lucy, yeah.
Yeah, how did you come connecting with him? Because he was actually on my platform, conveying value to my
Okay.
audience.
Yeah, well, it's a small world, especially the mob world. Guys know of each other or know each other personally. So there's a fella, Ori Spotto, that I've become friends with. He also wrote a book, and he's been hooking me up with a lot of different podcasts, and that's one of them. Bobby Luisi was one of them. But he was a total gentleman. We had a nice conversation. I think it was 4 parts. I saw the first 3 parts. I'll have to check out part 4. But yeah, he was a very good guy.
Now, Craig, you was also in a Broadway production platform called Beyond Therapy. Can you expand to the audience about that?
Absolutely. That was actually off Broadway. That was in a 65 seat theater. Poured my guts out up there, and that I did actually. Beyond Therapy was right after school, right after school, and that was my first play ever. And what a great experience that was. I mean, that was the first time I really had some great audience interaction and feeding off the energy of the audience as well as the other actors in the play. Was really invigorating. It really jettisoned my character into something that I didn't even know I was capable of doing. It just really brought a lot of emotionality more into the characters, which was a real good rush. We were up for that for 2 weeks. And then I did a play for the La Lupa Festival called What Play, actually. I played a writer who was a prolific writer, and nobody wanted to give me any money for my play. It was written by a very good dear friend of mine, Franco D'Alessandro, who actually went to the same high school as myself. Great guy, love him to death. He actually coached me in my Italian for Green Book. Gave me some of the Italian euphemisms and the exact pronunciations and things like that. And I was on the phone with him. Before I read for the role, we worked out a couple of scenes, and even when I was down in New Orleans shooting the film, I would call up Franco and say, "Is this the way to say it? How do I, I want it to sound good?" And he's like, "Yes, just roll your tongue a little bit more, roll your tongue." So that's, anyway, so that's where it came out.
Wow. Now, this question is for both of you guys. Can you explain to the audience in layman's terms, what is the best advice that both of y'all have ever received on the professional level as well as on the personal level?
Wow.
Well, that's a tough one because, I go back to my father, and then my football coaches, my karate instructors. They've all had, a part of what I am today. So it's hard to really zero in on one. But I would think it is just not to quit and never give up. Keep trying, keep focusing. Don't give up. That's, it's funny. It wasn't the coach Valvano, wasn't that his thing? Never give up.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I think I've always been told, because from, like I said, my father to my coaches, always pushed you to be better. So the sky's the limit. That's what I think. Just go for it and try, and don't take failure. Don't take no for an answer. Robert De Niro told me that. Don't take no for an answer in pursuing my book.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to agree with Larry on the same point. In terms of life experience, I had some really good coaches from football and stuff like that. Just pretty much exactly what Larry said. The mark of a true champion is the measure of his success through his failure. And you fail, but you keep going, you keep punching at it, you keep doing it, and eventually you will get success. And it's the heart of a lion, and that's what I've been taught. That's what keeps me going every morning when I'm at the gym.
Yeah, I got a perfect example. Larry Holmes. Okay, He got knocked down probably 4 or 5 times in big fights, but he always got up and won. Isn't that amazing?
It's incredible.
That's powerful.
He's got knocked down 4 or 5 times from another heavyweight, got up and won the fight. That's that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? So
that's very impressive. Yes, Larry Holmes, he's been on my platform, and
oh, has he?
yes, he said he wasn't turning down fighting Mike Tyson. He was like, you know, when it comes to $3 million cash, liquid, who's going to turn that down?
Yeah.
I'll fight Mike Tyson for $3 million cash.
Bro, I used to say, you know what? He can have a bat too. Hit me, knock me out quick, and quick. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's great.
Now, for both of y'all, what do you think that actually makes great actors become great actors? Because I have actor and film producer Bill Duke on my program. He was in the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in Car Wash with Richard Pryor. And he said that you really have to become the actor in regards to the characters laid out in the script. For both of y'all, I want y'all to answer this question. What do you think that really actors have to do to become that character, whether it's a TV series or in a movie?
You take that, Craig. You're much more experienced.
All right. So, I mean, well, it depends. If you're fortunate enough to be playing a real life person, then then it's all laid out for you. You know, I mean, say a character, say Sammy the Bull Gravano. You know, I mean, there's tape on him, there's video of him, he's still alive, you can contact him. So I think if it's a person, the ideal form of mimicry is to actually, you know, act exactly the way the person does. Like Johnny Depp, for instance, moved in with Hunter Thompson when he was doing the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So, you know, so that's one way. Another way is to really, I write backstory on all my characters. If it's not, if I'm creating it out of my own mind, or it's there on the page, it's obviously a lot easier if it's a live person, but I'll make up an entire life story of the person that I'm playing and live that truthfully through an imaginary circumstance. Okay, like, you know, I'll make up, you know, the character, say he's a detective, has 2 kids, divorced, hasn't had a drink in you know, in 15 days, things like that, and then you invoke that into your behavior, and it comes out in a natural way that's conveyed to the audience. That, you know, that is one of the major things that I do. I think one of the most important things that you could possibly do is your homework. An actor prepares. I mean, these books, I've read a ton of books. I went to school, all of this stuff, but it's all in the preparation, whether it's emotional, physical, or psychological preparation. Once you have all of this preparation, it comes out of your body. It evokes out of your body naturally. And once it comes out of your body naturally, it's effortless. And that's I think the key to good acting, in my opinion. Even when Larry and I were working together, we had a little talk about, I said, you know, one day we were with the day on set, we were like, I said, Larry, if there's anybody you wanted to whack that you didn't get to kill, who was it? And I saw a change in Larry's whole physical demeanor, his whole eyes, everything. Larry, I'm telling you, man,
that was the guy.
Unbelievable. You remember that?
Yep.
And and these are the types of things that really help jettison a really strong and solid character to really encompass the story.
Yeah, no, that's great. And Craig is a true professional. So that was, you know, so well said. For me, I'm really probably gonna always play a certain type of person because it's so much later in my life. I didn't go to school. I don't have all those, you know, experiences like Craig. So I'm always going to play a corrupt something, or you know, a wise guy type lawyer, maybe things like that, where I'm not too out of character. So what I was going to say, what I've seen, is the casting directors are very important. I didn't really realize what they did, but after watching actors now over the years, you could see how certain people are cast a certain way. Like take Ed Harris, for instance. I always see him as a sergeant or a detective, you know. De Niro, you're always going to probably see as a gangster, you know, but I mean, I shouldn't really say him because he's played everything. But here's a quick story that Mr. De Niro told me. For Cape Fear, he paid a dentist $5,000 to ruin his teeth because he was in jail for 18 years, supposedly, or whatever it was. And he knew his coming out of jail, he'd have bad teeth.
Okay.
And then after the movie, he paid the same dentist $20,000 to fix his teeth. So I mean, that's going pretty far. But if you watched him in Raging Bull, how he gained weight and lost weight, and you know, well, that's just a different level. Like you know, like what Craig was saying, to do things like that. But to me, it's the casting director, and they're not going to call me for Hamlet. I can promise you that.
You're not calling me for that either, Larry. I tried my Shakespeare stuff. I know my wheelhouse. I like.
Well, you know,
go ahead.
My son played Hamlet, but in a parody. What it was, the name of the play was "I Hate Hamlet," and they wanted him to play Hamlet, but he wouldn't do it. So the ghost of who played Hamlet, was it Sir Laurence Olivier, maybe? Way back in the day, somebody like that. So the ghost of Laurence Olivier comes back and haunts him into playing Hamlet. So, but it was very funny. It was a really good play. So, yeah, it's funny. But yeah, but my son's like Craig. I saw him play Beauty and the Beast, the big guy. What's his name? Gaston?
Yes.
The next play he's playing in Some Like It Hot. He's playing Tony Curtis in a woman's dress and high heels on. So, you know, guys, professionals like that could get into their characters. It's amazing. I have one thing I'm not going to do. I'm going to tell you right now is kiss Craig on stage. They're going to try to have us in a love scene. I see what's going on TV today. But me and Craig are not going to be kissing anytime soon.
That's a negative for me too, Larry.
Yeah. No, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not. But I'll give you a kiss on the cheek, Larry.
That's it. The gangster kiss.
That's right. Double.
You know, Robert De Niro, he can pretty much play any character, and he actually was, you know, a maniac. And the movie Heat. How did you connect with Robert De Niro, and how did that all come about with you, Craig, playing those roles in The Irishman?
Well, I'll start with me because I was very lucky. Some of the police that were on the task force working with the FBI, when I was arrested, and I grew up with one of them, was De Niro's private security team now in retirement. You know, their second jobs now. And when he was filming The Irishman, he asked if they knew anybody that come from that life and could, you know, help him with certain scenarios and language and things like that. So they mentioned me, and he read the book, and before you know it, I was in his hotel, sitting down with him for hours at a time. I was on set a few times with him. Then I went to meet Scorsese, and there were casting directors there that day, and ultimately he sent me to meet Nick Pileggi. So, and I got the part, you know, through him. But Craig, you know, he has the resume, and he could tell you how he did it. I guess you got a call, right, to come in. And,
well, yeah, the detectives that were on my case, because they were after me for a couple of years. No,
I didn't think so.
No, seriously. I was actually, I heard about this film, and I was, hounding my agent for a part. Please get me in, just get me in the door. Let me do my thing. I was actually, I was lucky enough I was cast on the last day of casting for the film. I went in and met with the talented casting director, Ellen Lewis, and her assistant, and read, and I did some improv in there, and then I think I got the call that night or the night after that we were shooting on the last day, and that's actually when Larry and I first met. His trailer was our trailers were right next to each other, and him and Kelly were very nice and kind, and it came up and introduced themselves, and we started talking, and it was a match made in heaven. I have to tell you one story though, really quick. When I went, Larry, before we met, I was going to my wardrobe fitting for The Irishman, And one of the guys is like, one of the wardrobe designers said, Craig, are you an actor or are you a gangster? I said, I'm an actor. He goes, oh, okay, because you're going to be working with a real gangster. Marty likes to use real gangsters. I'm like, okay. I didn't think anything of it. And then I meet the legendary Larry Mazza.
Oh my God. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was pretty wild.
But they were, they were like in awe. They were asking me questions. The guys putting the makeup and dressing us and everything. They're so in awe of the life, for real. So, it was entertaining listening to them, but I could see that happening. That's funny.
Listen, I'm a big fan of the life too. It's what a ride, what a roller coaster, Larry. I mean, and to talk about the life, the book is just, once Larry gave me one of his books. I read it in, I want to say 4 days. I could not put the thing down. I mean, amazing story of and to be able to live to tell that story and just the treachery, the behind the back, the money, the sex, all of it was just, I mean, it blew my mind. I could not, I mean, I would stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning reading this book.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. That's great.
It's true.
No, I'm humbled by it. It's been so well received that it's just humbling,
Yeah.
I get people telling me they read it overnight. They couldn't put it down. I hear that a lot. I mean, it's incredible. It really is. So, but that's why I'm here on the show with you, Arthur. So.
Now, the Irishman was a classic, and Craig, I know you've been in Power, and you was also in the phenomenal movie called The Green Book. Do both of y'all generate a lot of royalties from the films that y'all were in?
Yeah, we get residuals, we get checks, absolutely. It all depends on there's a formula that they do based on the days on set and what your rate is and things like that. But yes, they I don't really get that many from The Irishman. I think that's because it's the new medium. But yeah,
I got one. I think the first one was about 500 or something like that. And
exactly.
then the next one was like 40 cents. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
I get one from the Dave Chappelle show. That's actually, it was 3 cents. It was 3 cents. It cost more to print it up and mail it to me than to give
that is hysterical. I know. But I bet you De Niro's are like a couple 100,000 at a time.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And it depends on all your work. I mean, you get, if they're nationally syndicated shows, if it's, if it's on time, all that stuff. There's a lot of variables in that, but yes.
Now, going into the future, Larry and Craig, do y'all think y'all gonna do another project with A-list actor Robert De Niro?
Well, I'll say this. Once The Life gets out there, I had a conversation with him where I thought he would play a great Junior Persico, and Junior Persico just died, and that would be an illustrious character to play. He's never been really portrayed yet. And he seemed a little impressed with that. So, I think he's got things going on in his life, his personal life right now. So we sort of lost touch a little bit. But I think if Nick writes it and it gets a pilot out there, and we may have Scorsese direct it, there's a great chance that he'll come back in and get involved. I'm a little surprised he didn't pursue it a little bit more. But again, he's got things going on in his personal life. Okay. But never say never, right? Never say never.
That's true.
That's what we just said. I'd love to have him on there. He would, just his name alone would make us all successful. But we're gonna do it with or without him. Joe Paletto. Don't forget, I'm very close with Armand Asante. Craig and I are close with Mike Madsen. Those guys are polished, well-known guys that would also add a lot to the series. So.
And Craig, how you feel about that going into the future, doing the project with Robert De Niro?
I would welcome it. I welcome all opportunities, and to work with somebody who's Academy Award winner, amazing. I mean, I grew up watching him. I mean, we're talking Mean Streets,
cinematic royalty.
I mean, yes, that's probably of course, I'd love to work with him and really get down and dirty in the scene with him. Would be a lot of fun, and I would welcome that opportunity, absolutely.
And the good thing about him is he wants you to improvise. He told me that on when I had to play an ex-corrupt cop, and Craig coached me really well on that. And I wound up doing a really great job from what everybody told me. And the first thing De Niro asked me, did they let you be yourself? Were you able to put in your own words? And I changed the whole script. I mean, I did the whole, you know, and they were so happy with it because, you know, if you want it to be real, just let me be myself. Don't, you know, I'm not going to use the words you put down. Like, I jump out of the back seat with a gun to a guy's head, and the script said, keep your hands on the wheel 10-2. Yeah, I changed that. I guarantee you. I think I said you keep those effing hands on the wheel, or I'll blow your brains all over the dashboard. You know, that wasn't in the script, but they loved it. You know,
you know, the last time you was on my show, Larry, people in the comment section said, you know, you look so charismatic. You don't look like a killer.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I don't want to look that way. I don't want to be known as that for the rest of my life because it was only a few years out of my 60 years where I was actually, you know, considered a hitman or whatever you want to call it. You know, I didn't do it for money. It was circumstances in the life that I was in, kill or be killed to some extent. And, you know, and a lot, you know, and being brought up slowly, a lot of the things you did, you thought were for a good reason, you know, but anyway, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad they said that, you know, I'd rather look like just a nice, normal guy.
Craig, Larry, can you break down layman's terms so the audience fully understand what mistakes are you seeing that actors are making when they're actually becoming the character that they're supposed to become?
Well, I think that one of the general rules of thumb is not to be just a talking head. You know, I mean, you could just say a line like this and just go like this and sound like a robot, and there's nothing behind it. There's no, you know, there's no emotionality. There's nothing there. You need to have some substance and some real stuff. That's one thing. And another thing I would say is not to, there's always a way to, it's called the anticipated moment. Like if I know how I have to grab this water, okay, this water's right here. If I know I have to grab this water and I'm waiting to do it like this, and then I do it, it's an anticipated moment, and that's bad acting. And if I just, you know, if I just grab it like this while I'm talking to you, that's a real moment.
Yeah. To me, it's overacting. I see, and again, I'm not a pro like Craig, but I can see guys overacting. They're just trying too hard, and then it comes off as cheesy. And I'm going to give you an example, not of that, but something Armand told me. If you watch him in many of his movies, he has a cigar. And when he was telling me, he goes, it gives me a chance to think of how I want to say my next line. That little pause. I want the money today. Something like that. Or bring me my effing money. It'll be something. That little pause with the cigar makes him think. And watch his movies. He seems, I can see him right now with Denzel Washington in The American Gangster, puffing on his porch. Remember that scene?
Yes, I remember that scene. Yeah. In American Gangster.
And Gotti, he always had the cigar or the cigarette.
Yes.
So a little thing, it gives him that pause, and you don't rush, and it keeps it real. So I may start smoking cigars in my next scene. But yeah. But to me, it's just the overacting from what I see.
So the actors and actresses, they have to, you know, basically be believable when they're actually on the set.
Well, they have to believe themselves. You have to believe yourself first. You have to believe that you are it. If you have that inside of you, it's no holds barred. But if you're fabricating and trying, and like Larry was saying, like overacting, some people, like, it's called pushing. When you push for an emotion, if you're pushing to cry instead of letting it happen naturally, it's a lot different. you know, and really it's an interconnection as opposed to an outer connection has been my experience. And Larry hit the nail on the head. Is overacting is, you know, it happens. And, you know, people, because it comes out, I mean, most of the time it comes out of a good place, I'm sure, from the actor, because they want it to be a good scene and stuff like that, and want it to be great instead of just letting it be and let it be great.
Right.
A little difference, little nuances that you know, make it good to great. For sure.
Can both of y'all explain in your own influential way? Let's have a conversation about money. Now, I know money is not value. Money is just a facilitator to do transactions. Can you explain to the audience, how would y'all define money?
Go ahead, Larry.
All right. Well, we talked a little bit about this the last time. I remember a similar question. And, you know, I answered you by saying it was the root of all evil. You've heard that. And it's true. You know, how much is enough? Everybody wants to earn, but the greed factor comes in and makes money more than it is. Like what you just said, it's a facilitator. How, you know, earn a living, earn as much as you can. Everybody has that right. Do it the right way. And something I've been saying a lot lately is I didn't need the life I was in to earn a good living. Okay. And I didn't need that life to earn respect. I get respect. Sometimes I think I get more respect now than I did back in the life, because there's not that half of the people that frown upon the way of life I was living. You know, they don't like that. They didn't like gangsters. And a lot of them were Italians. They didn't like us. So I got a lot of respect. I feel like I earned it. And like I said, I'm earning a good living now. You know, I'm selling books. I'm doing a little acting. My gym's doing great. I'm still a consultant in the sports industry. So everything's good. Just don't let it take over your life.
Exactly. I guess what I'm going to say about money, definitely, I'm going to agree with Larry again. Money is the root of all evil. That's just, you know, however, everybody needs it to live, to work, to, you know, pay your bills and keep the lights on and food in your family's mouths. I never became an actor to make money. I never became an actor to have fame or fortune. I love what I do to the 100th degree. I enjoy getting a script, reading it, and creating a character out of thin air and bringing the writer's words to life. That's what I enjoy. That's my passion. I always feel that in terms of money, if you follow your passion, it will lead to quote unquote money and success. That being said, if you want to be a ballerina, be the best and go at it, and you will eventually make money. Obviously, dancers aren't very known to make money, stereotypically speaking. However, if you keep pushing and doing what you love and being passionate about it, giving of yourself, give all of yourself to whatever it is that you're passionate about, everything else comes. And I'm blessed, and I'm living proof of that. You know, I mean, I was I've been an actor for now about 20 years, and you know, I ate PB&J sandwiches for 4 weeks at a time once. You know, it was a rough road. However, you know, I am where I am today, and I'm thankful for that experience, because, you know, I kept with it and didn't take no for an answer. Perseverance is key, and I know deep down in my heart that I was successful and I was good enough to do that.
I'm gonna add one thing, if it's okay. I feel 100% the way Craig does, but if they offer me a few million for life, I'm gonna take it. Let's hope.
Let's hope.
I understand.
Yeah,
that's great.
But I'll be generous with it. I guarantee you that. I've always been generous, and that'll never change. So if I'm fortunate enough, a lot of people will feel the fortune also.
Well, since you mentioned it, Larry, is that in the making? Are they offering, you know, a couple of million for your book?
Not yet. The thing is, Joe has bought the rights. So now he's more or less either going to do it on his own platform, or if somebody like Netflix or HBO comes along to network with him, which is always the best way, because their finances are endless. So something's going to happen. I'm hoping it's a series, because then it's year after year. If we can get a run like Power, then you're just going to be off the charts. It's going to be life changes for everybody, like The Sopranos. You look at James Gandolfini. What a great actor. Right, Craig? I mean, a phenomenal and a great guy. But he wasn't making the big bucks like De Niro, 20, 30, 40 million per movie. But he got that 8-year run or whatever it was on The Sopranos. And when he died, he was worth about 100 million. So the numbers are phenomenal in TV. So, hope it's in the works. Nothing's easy. It's taken a long time, but it's still moving forward. And I got the guy that's putting up his own platform now. So something's going to happen.
And plus the fact, if I may add, I mean, Larry, your story is so, there's so many integral parts, so many pieces to the puzzle that has been, it wouldn't justify it in a 2-hour film. I mean, it has to be in an episodic form because there's so much going on.
And there's character development. There's a bunch of characters that, not to interrupt you, Craig, but when you're writing the book, it's my life, so I have to keep it me as a central figure, how I got from A to Z. There's a lot of people that come along in the book, like Vic Arena. He comes way at the end, but we'll develop him much earlier on. The corrupt FBI agent, we'll develop him much earlier on. Carmine Sessa, much earlier. All these guys, and I have a way of doing it too. Bringing them all at the beginning, and then they go their own ways for a while. But yeah, there's tons of character development. So, you could do a season on Greg Jr. You could do a season on, obviously me and Linda. You could do a season on
the war.
The war would be the climate. Yeah, I would say, last couple of years or whatever. But I was going to say the gambling, just on the escapades in that business. So yeah, no, Nick Pileggi said he wants to get 6 seasons. That's what he said. But he told me that when he was 87. Now he's 88. So the man's he's still sharp as a tack, and I'm glad to have his name on board. But we've got others. Like I said, Terry Winter Terry Winter is partners with Joe Paletto on the new platform. So
that's great.
So you imagine how how successful that's going to be.
And we can't forget Great Scarpa, aka the Grim Reaper.
Yeah,
I know he's committed a lot of murder, so just with him alone is just another series.
And if they want to do a bunch of flashbacks with him to when he was younger, making his bones, and then when he did meet and make his deal with the feds, the Mississippi burning story, of course that's up to the writers and the directors. But I did hear this, and it made me very proud that I will be in the writing room. And they said that's elementary. That's what was said. It's elementary that I have to be in the writing room. It's not, that's a given. So, I'm sure I won't have the last say with guys like Nick and Terry sitting there, but that's fine. But it's what can I ask for? But who do you want to play, Greg? You've been thinking about it?
I have after speaking with you and speaking with your old partner, and idealistically, you have the eye, who I am, and where I fit best. If I had my choice, whatever you picture me for is great, and I'm happy to work and do that. But I do want a chance and opportunity to try out for Greg Jr. I think because he's a very charismatic character. So even
and you'll get to talk to him now. You'll get to meet him now too. Yeah,
great.
No, he's definitely one on the list. I won't tell all the ones that are on the list, but the other one on the list is Alley Boy.
Okay.
Junior Persico's son, because he can be developed. In my book, he's not all over there because he's in and out of prison, and we didn't run in the same circles. But there's certainly there'll be a lot more of him, and you've already got the look.
Yeah,
he was very good looking guy, and dark eyes, dark hair. Just the. I think it would be easy to get into that. Greg, you're gonna have to dig in. You'll have to dig in to be Greg Jr.
Okay.
Carmine Sessa was one. I might as well say it too, but he's a little too dry. I think we're gonna have to get somebody boring, seriously, to play him. And that's not you. So there was one other one, I forget who.
Wow.
But maybe I'll play the corrupt FBI agent.
Oh, the Vecchio?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'm old enough now.
as long as we get some on-camera time together, that's I want to do that. Listen, I'll listen. I'm in, Lar. I just want to.
I know it.
I just want to. I want to tell your story the way you want to tell it. It's your story, and I just want to honor your life and your work.
Well, that's great to hear, pal. Thank you.
Now, Larry, would you want Craig to be the good guy or the bad guy in the movie?
Well, he's good. Listen, if he's playing one of those characters, he's not a good guy. We're the bad guys. And unfortunately, the good guys are supposed to be the FBI, but they're not going to be good in my book because there was so much corruption. So if you want to play a good guy, he would have to be Tommy Dades. Tommy Dades is a cop I grew up with. He was never on the take. He was actually highly decorated. He's got a story with Joe Coletto right now too. The Mob Cops with Caracappa and Eppolito.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those two cops that would kill him for gas pipe. So I mean, that would be a good character too if you wanted to play a good guy. But man, one of those other guys are going to be the one.
I think so. I think
yeah.
Now, Craig, going into the future, do you think you're going to actually work with 50 Cent again?
It's up to the big man's hands. Absolutely. He was always generous and kind whenever I would meet him in the reading room when we would have the table reads. Yeah, sure, why not? Absolutely. Maybe he'll let me get on one of his albums or something. Throw down.
I know you can spit.
I can't spit. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
I could sing. I do karaoke all the time.
All right. All right. I wrote down some powerful words, gentlemen. 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. So y'all can rate them in your own powerful way. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
Perseverance.
10, 11.
Absolutely. High a number as you can give it. Very important.
Intellectual property.
That's got to be up there too. I won't give it a 10, but I'll say 8, 9. I mean, if you have it, it's a powerful thing.
I'm going to say 8 myself.
Wisdom.
Wow, how could it not be a 10?
Yeah.
The more, as the years go on, you get wiser, you hope, and you should learn from those mistakes. So that's a powerful word. That's a 10 to me.
Yeah, wisdom as opposed to knowledge, because some people confuse wisdom. Knowledge is one thing, but wisdom, I believe, always comes with age and experience. And I'm going to give that a 10.
Living through something, right?
Yeah.
Gratitude.
I mean, you have to be gracious. That's got to be up there too. I mean, you put words out that to me that most could all rate 10s. I mean, that's right. I mean, if you don't show gratitude where you that's why I said, like with my book, I'm so humbled. I can't keep saying thank you so much. There's so many people, but I do. I sign every single book. I answer every comment, every email, every Facebook comment. And people say, how do you do this? I spend my mornings doing it with a cup of coffee before I go to the gym. So gratitude is a 10.
Gratitude is a 10. The first words out of my mouth when I step out of my bed, when I put my feet on the ground, are thank you every morning.
Yep. Great.
So, yeah, 10.
Money.
I'm going to go in the middle. Like I said, a 5, because, I look at my father, was a fireman, didn't make a fortune, lived a great life. Then I look at Greg Scarpa, had millions and millions of dollars, died a horrible death. His whole family's broke. So it's a 5. It's in the middle. You got to earn what you can earn and live within your means. I put it in the middle.
I'm gonna go with a 6. I've been, I've had the peaks and I've had the valleys, and the valleys were pretty low. So I appreciate it and I'm grateful for it. I mean, now this is a long time ago that, didn't have much, but I remember that and I never will forget that. And money's a six. Money comes and money goes. I'm grateful
It's in the
to
middle.
be in the position I'm in right now, but if I didn't, I know how to survive also.
Integrity.
10 plus.
Yep, another one.
Nothing without it. And what do they say? Integrity is what you do when you're alone. How you would act when you're alone. So no, that's one of the strongest words. One of the strongest traits is integrity. So I'm giving that 10 plus.
Agreed.
Yep.
And that's, a 10 is, because it's a judge of character. You show people who you are by your actions, and to have integrity in certain situations that a lot of people wouldn't have is
Right.
speaks volumes. I mean,
Yes.
and that I agree with. 10.
Marriage.
Wow. Thank God my wife's not here. No, listen, it's an incredible partnership. I'm blessed. I'm lucky. So I have to give it a 10 because I couldn't ask for anything better. If my marriage wasn't great, I'd have to say 5 or something, but I can't because I'm blessed. It's just Craig knows we have an unbelievable relationship. She's my manager.
Yes.
She's just as you know, Arthur, you talk to her more than I do. But it's if you're gonna do it, it got to be a 10, or don't do it.
Yes. I'm gonna agree. I mean, marriage is a life partner, and you have to be blessed with the person that you're with and love them through thick, through thin, everything. And that's your life partner. So, I mean, if you do choose that to be married or not to be married, or eventually want to get married, it's a 10 because that's your life partner. That's your business partner. That's someone you confide in, trust in, tell them your deepest secrets, tell them your fears and your strengths, and they're there for you regardless.
Right.
And that's very important. So yes, I'm going to say a 9, 9.5, 10.
Business.
Well, it's not a 10, but it's important. So I'm going to go in the 8 area because if it's worth doing, it's got to be up there. And what's the term? Business is business. I mean, you have to take care of it. It's not going to it's not going to run itself for the most part. So, that being said, sometimes I'm a workaholic. So maybe it's higher than an 8, but off the top of my head, I'd give it an 8.
Generally speaking, I mean, that's a general term. I mean, everybody has their different businesses and what is business to them. I mean, obviously, whatever you make your paycheck for, but I mean, I do a few things that, I mean, I love what I do. I'm blessed to do what I do. So business to me is a part of who I am. So to put a number on it, I mean, I guess another, I'm gonna have to say 9.5, 10. I mean, you have to take care. You got to take care of business, man.
Take care of it.
It's just understood, and that's that. When it's like I can't be on the phone. I have to do this, and that's it. Business, takes not 99% of the time. It takes precedent over everything, except obviously if you're family or a close friend or somebody's in
kids and things, right? That's why it was a little lower. But no, it's high.
Yeah.
Power.
Ooh. Through wisdom and experience, it's somewhere in the middle because it doesn't always bring happiness or financial freedom. It's just an ego. It's an ego thing, power. So I'm putting it in the middle somewhere, right around a 5. You don't want to be weak. The reason I say a 5, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be a 1 either, but I'm not thriving or going through life trying to be the most powerful guy on 13th Avenue anymore. You know, so
In terms of power for me, not that important. I believe inner power is the most powerful thing. Is you're your master of your own self, and inner power is more eludes into outer power, I guess. Power is a four for me. I don't value it. I mean, I respect people that get to power positions, and I respect the hard work and the integrity and the character and the business that it took them to get to that position of power.
yeah, no, it's true.
Building great relationships.
That's a 10. That's very important. I mean, if you would, if you would have just said relationships, I might have been a little lower because there's all different kinds of relationships. But you said a great relationship like me and Craig have now, it's a 10.
Yeah.
So great relationships are a 10.
They're very few and far between. And
Right.
and yes, and once you have a great relationship, you treat that with value, and you treat that with respect, understanding, and loyalty. And great relationships have to be treasured. 10.
Honest. Well, that's like integrity. You really, if you don't keep your word on things, in any walk of life, not only the mob life that I come from, honor was supposed to be, paramount. But it wasn't. But true honor is a 10. You're looking like our soldiers and things like that. Those guys, deserve all the honor we can give them. And not only soldiers, other people, too. Crusaders, police, firemen, I think honor's a 10. That's almost a give me.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna bite off Larry, and I would have said the same thing if you asked me first. Same thing. The firemen, the police, the people in service, men and women that defend our country, all of them. That's honor. Honor is very important. Honor is very high, and 10, just like Larry said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Capitalism.
Oh boy, that's that's going a little political, because I always considered myself an independent or a capitalist, because I was never a Democrat or a Republican. So
Yeah.
the third one was capitalist or independent. I'm going to put that fairly high because I think, just use our country for example, is better off when we're thriving and the country is doing well. I mean, that's almost goes without saying. But again, it's not everything because it's money. So, but I'll put it up around an 8. I think it's important. And we got to hope our leaders run it the right way and keep us, thriving.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
it's not an easy thing, but we got to hope our leaders do that. And we'll see. But so I'll give it an 8 for that reason, because I think the country needs it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let me think about this for a second. Okay, so when we're talking about capitalism, I think it's kind of the American way of life. It's a little political. However, I believe that the idea and definition of capitalism makes a person want to succeed. I believe there's a certain drive to invigorate, motivate, to get ahead, and capitalism allows a person to be a better person or get more of what they're looking for in business with hard work and effort. So I'm gonna say a 9. I'm gonna give capitalism a 9. It's better than any other isms, if you will. But I'm gonna give it a 9.
Well, capitalism is real big, across this country. And basically capitalism just means I own the land, I own the resources, and I use other people's labor to enrich myself. So capitalism is definitely dominating in this 21st century. Can both of y'all explain to the audience exactly where they can find you?
Where they can find me?
Yes.
Well,
your websites or your social media handles?
Oh yeah, well, I'm on Facebook. my name, Larry Mazza. I also have a website, www.larrymazza-thelife.com. There's an email there. There's a video, and that's where I sell my book, because I still own the rights to the book. I never gave it up to a publisher. I probably will do that once we get a TV series in the works. It'll be much more in demand. But that's where you can find me, basically. I think my wife put me on Instagram, but I don't know how to use it. So, I'm not really technically advanced. So Facebook is about as far as I go.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook as well. Craig Difrancia. I have a fan page set up there as well, or my personal page. I like the gram. I'm on the gram a lot, so you can find me at Craig Difrancia on Instagram. Please, ask me your questions, personal, DM me. I'm here for you.
Very good.
Yes, well, Facebook owns Instagram. So to everybody who's listening and watching right now, get involved with the phenomenal Craig Difrancia and the phenomenal Larry Mazza. I really appreciate both of y'all coming on my show today, because the whole premise of my show is to educate entrepreneurs and business owners on a national, international scale that they can live the life that they truly desire, but they have to be open to these important principles. So I don't like what I see what's on the news, so I create my own news.
That's a good thing.
Amen.
Yeah. It's tough to watch the news today, but it was funny. That's why I thought, the Green Book was a great story about, interracial friendship, and, the way things are now, it was a great time to have Craig on to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, it was, the message was beautiful. And the beauty of the message is that also that it was a true story of Nick Vallelonga's father, Tony Vallelonga, who I was fortunate enough to meet way before Green Book had happened. So, I mean, not for any other reason, but just because it's such a time for it. I mean, people should definitely go out and revisit that film, just for the messages and for what really matters, because that's what really matters. We're all human. And that's the bottom line. That's it.
Yeah. The chemistry between the Vigo, the two main characters.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that? Yeah.
Vigo and Mahershala were prolific together, and they just gelled. And I mean, working with those guys, and they're just like I was saying before, just constantly giving and giving of themselves and their performances to get the best out of you. It's just a ping pong effect, and it's a mutual creative collaborative that goes up. Once people connect, they go up, and that's what is always necessary to elevate.
Yeah, and the Green Book, was that written by a gentleman that worked at the post office?
Nick Vallelonga wrote it with Brian Curry, I believe. No, Nick was a film actor, producer, and director for post office. I'm not quite sure about that one. That's first I'm hearing.
Yeah, I never heard that before. Arthur mentioned it to me the other day, and I didn't know, so I didn't really answer them.
No, not, as far as I know, no. It's Nick's father's story and about Tony. So no.
Craig, Larry, can you explain to the audience, do y'all have any last pearls of wisdom for the audience?
Well, have us back on again. That'll be good.
Oh, I definitely want y'all to come back on, and we could talk about your phenomenal book, Power. And Craig, we can definitely talk about you getting involved with the Power series with 50 Cent.
Beautiful. Anytime. I guess my last words would be keep smiling.
Yeah. be happy and be blessed. I got a second chance. I'm blessed, and I'm gonna live every day to the fullest.
Before we signed off, Craig and Larry, can you explain to the audience what other upcoming projects you're working on?
No, I'm consumed with the life, and the producer that I have, like I said, he wants to do some other shows that I'm going to be part of. So I'm just waiting for that call to go to California and get in the writing room. And he's setting up a production company here in Florida for me to do the gambling show. So I'm sort of in limbo, but in the next couple of months, I'll be busy with some TV shows. So it'll be good. And I know Craig's always auditioning for something.
Yeah, I have a couple of things in the works. Nothing I can, well, the things I can mention is I'm directing and EPing a reality show right now called Vinyl Garage, which is in the works for a network right now. We're in the pitch stage, which has been a great experience. We're waiting on that. I have a couple of opportunities that I'm waiting to land and hopefully will in negotiations for a couple of things. And of course, I mean, the priority here is the life, waiting for that. I mean, I'm going to, dive right into that and can't wait to kick that off.
Yeah.
Literally. We're going to have, I mean, I can't wait. I'm jumping out of my skin to do that.
No, it's tough to,
the
anticipation is tough. Yeah.
It's all good. Good things come. It's happening. So we're just being patient.
Well, we covered a lot of ground on today's show about, the power. And I know you was actually in there, Craig. Unfortunately, you got taken out by William Sandler.
I did.
And Larry, we're talking about your phenomenal book, The Life. And I'm looking forward to it being on the big screen on the Netflix platform. I'd like to thank both of y'all once again for taking time out of your busy schedules to educate me and the audience worldwide about your phenomenal careers. And Larry, about your book, The Life. I gladly appreciate it. Both of y'all are gifts from God.
Thank you so much. And look forward to seeing you again, Arthur.
I'm looking forward to it too. And I want to invite y'all back on the program so we can convey more value to my audience about y'all great careers that y'all have going on and what y'all have coming up with upcoming projects in the future.
Arthur, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you for having me on the show anytime, brother.
To everyone that's listening and watching right now, I highly recommend get involved with these two powerful leaders, Craig Difrancia and Larry Mazza. You hear the passion that came through both of their voices on my show today. Look them up and go to their Facebook page and their Instagram page. Look up Craig Difrancia, CraigDifrancia. He has incredible, powerful acting content that could take your mindset and your business to a whole nother level. And also look up Larry Mazza. His book called The Life is very compelling, and it's a powerful book, and it's a must read, but it can actually take your mindset and your business acronym to a whole nother level. Remember, knowledge is not power. The implementation of knowledge, that's what makes it become powerful. So to everyone that's listening and watching right now, remember that the strongest asset that each and every one of you have is your brain, and what you think about and what you take action on, that will become your reality, and your mentality creates your reality. May God bless each and every one of you, and bye for now. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate y'all coming on my platform, conveying value to my audience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Arthur, pleasure. Thank you. Amen.
And take care. Craig,
Larry,
talk to you later.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
guys. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a pleasant day, everyone. To everyone that's listening and watching right now, I know y'all got phenomenal content from Craig Difrancia. He was actually in the movie with Power, or should I say the hit series Power with 50 Cent. And he was also in the movie The Green Book. I highly recommend watch that movie. And also the book called The Life with AKA the Grim Reaper, Gary Scarpa. That's with Larry Mazza. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be publishing more content that's going to help you to take your mindset and your business to a whole nother level. And remember, God loves you, and so do I. And bye for now.